Hello everyone, this is Skip Farr from Hard Dollar Corporation. This session is geared toward just the request for quote register, what we call the RFQ. We'll go through a few tips on that might be of some value. I'm going to use my training job. I've already opened it up, so I'll just click to it. Of course, what you're looking at is the RFQ register. You notice I've already taken one request for quote. I'm going to click another new one. So basically you can either hit this new icon button, or I'm just going to right click and say new. And of course up comes options for you to decide how you want to fill this record up with. This first thing up here is you may want to have another identifying number to the cost items that will be created for you. You may want quotes on in your system are subordinates, but they are still linked to a pay item or a superior in most cases. So when you send this out, the user at the other end, if they're used to looking at a PM number, then you can choose to have a pay number as an identification for the items that you want to get quotes on. So this just gives the option of choosing different numbers for identification purposes. Of course, you notice you got three options here. If you choose from scratch, that means you've got to go find the cost items or resources, you've got to select the seller and so forth. If you do from the quote group tag, this is usually the most convenient. Means if you set up your tags, and we know what items you want grouped by a particular tag. This other one, this RFQ using default seller data. In the address book, there's a tab on the record that says default quotes. What you can do is, if you've got certain sellers, material suppliers, or subcontractors that always quote certain items. There's certain pipe type items or certain landscape items. You can identify those in the address book. So basically when you choose this option, you choose the seller, and the system goes through and says, oh, does this job have any of those items that you've already identified with the seller? If so, then we know what items are automatically attached to the seller. So this could be of some value also. I'm going to use this option here. And in this case, I'm going to pick on pipe materials. I'll click OK. And you notice that we have listed the pipe resources that are part of my quote group tag for me. So I'm going to get quotes from a couple of material suppliers for these particular items. Of course, these are the quantities that come with it. Now remember, we take quotes and or RFQs on two kinds of items, resources or cost items. In this case, these are resources. The terms and conditions are simply ways to add additional notes. Okay, that's all that is. The seller company now decides who you want to send this list of items to. So I'm going to select a few, and in my case, I got some example vendors that I'll pick on. I'll pick this one, and I'll pick that one. I'll click OK, and there they are. Now, there's an attachment. If you email this RFQ, in other words, you publish by email. If you email, you can attach a file. It can be a picture, it can be a document, any kind of file that you want to attach to this RFQ that you will be sending out. That's what the attachment is all about. You click on this. Basically, you have to go find that attachment. So I go find something wherever I've got it. Maybe I got some pictures here. You know, I could pick all. I got one from my Hoover Dam. I can say dam bridge and click OK. And so I want this to go along with my attachment. You could do that. Now again, this only will happen if you publish by email. And here's the trick. If you publish by email, we will create the Word document with the appropriate data, attach it to the email with an additional attachments, and we will send it off. If you choose this option, you will not have the ability to edit the document. That's why we have this other one that simply says publish by fax. So if you choose this one, we will open up the Word document for you. You can make any editing changes that you might want, and then fax or email those respective ones yourself. So this one gives you full flexibility. If you like our document, this is a quick and easy way to do it. Now what hard dollar does, in order for you to actually create the fax, we ask you to select the sellers. So once you select the sellers, the process is publish. So what's going to happen, an RFQ document will be loaded, our template, we'll fill it in with the appropriate data. We get the address and everything from the address book. You told us what you wanted to send out. I'll open up the Word document, and there is your first seller that you want to get the quotes from. The from is from your address that you selected in the cover sheet in the job properties form. There's a spot there that says, who do I address this RFQ back to, which would represent you as your company. So again, you are in Microsoft Word. All this information is editable. You can delete it. This is cover sheet data. This is the RFQ record information. Sheet 2 is sending from the seller back to you, and you're asking them to give you a price for these items. They can put notes, they can sign it, and send it back. So it's a quick way to get an RFQ in a document for you. Again, this option, you have total control over what you want to do with it, make your editing changes, and then you can create these respective documents yourself and fax or email accordingly. I'm going to close the document down. I won't save it. Now notice here, when I've done this, the status now says published. What that means is, and if I click OK, the status here says published. What that means is we will not let you republish this RFQ. If you want to make a change to it, you have to copy it, paste it. Notice that we say copy here. The status is new. You may open this up, make editing changes, and republish. The reason for this is that this could become an audit trail. It could have some legal implications. So we have the date and time it was published, so that if you run into any issues about timing and that they didn't get it or anything, at least you have some record that you had done this. So this is our RFQ. Now there's one other thing we can do here. I'm going to open this record back up, click on the Seller tab. Now since I've already selected or sent this out to these clients, to these sellers, all I am doing now is waiting for their quotes to come back from me, their prices. So I can select these now and simply say, create the quote. So what we do, we create the quote record so that when you do get their prices, you're ready to just enter in their prices to the respective items. It's a quick look at the RFQ. Hope it's some value. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later.